football awards program here this evening. Obviously a fantastic season, and we're very proud of our young men and our cheerleaders and trainers who are here with us as well tonight on everything that they've done and accomplished this season. I know Coach Tribb will take a few minutes and have some thank yous of his own, but from the athletic department, I want to make sure that I give a few thank yous this evening. First of all, to our superintendent, Mr. Porter, and our Board of Education. Their support of athletics in the Mentor school system is top notch, and I do really truly appreciate their support for all of our programs. To Mr. Crow, our principal, and the high school administrative team for being my eyes and ears and really helping our programs grow and being a support for us and our student athletes. Again, I appreciate them. To my staff in the athletic department, Mr. Lowry, Mr. Russo, and Mrs. Lutz, for not only this evening and putting those things on, but helping us on game nights and helping me do all the things that I do and need to do for our athletic program. To our sports medicine staff, Dr. Driga, Kat, and Tyler, I believe we have one of the first-rate athletic training staffs and team physician that we can have, and I know they take great care of our student athletes. I truly appreciate their efforts and the time that they spend with the program. To our cheerleaders and young ladies, I really appreciate all the effort that you put on. I know how hard you work, and I know the things that you do to put on a good show on Friday nights and to support our student athletes. Again, I appreciate that. To our student athletic trainers as well, I see you out there every time I show up at practice and games, and I know the amount of time that you put in. Again, thank you. To my coaching staff, you know, I say this all the time, but I truly believe we have one of the best coaching staffs in the state of Ohio. And not just in football, but in all sports. And I know the hours and the times, and when I show up here on a random Sunday afternoon and they're still here, I know that they're doing what's best for our student athletes. And then to our athletes themselves, you know, I challenged you when we stood here back in August to be the best that you can be in everything that you do, on and off the fields, and I believe you truly have done that. You represent Mentor High School first class all the time. I can't tell you how many places that I go or how many people that I talk to that constantly compliment our student athletes on the way they behave on the field, how they behave off the field, and how they represent this school and community in a first class like I asked you to do back in August. So for that, I do truly appreciate. And lastly, to our parents groups, not only the Red Line Club that really helps obviously with football, but our Cardinal Parents Club. You know, we can't do what we do up here, or we can't do and provide the things that we have without your support and your help. Whether it's just the simple driving kids from one place to another, to fundraising, to any of those kind of special things that our parents do. Again, I truly appreciate those efforts, and we couldn't do it without you. So for me and the athletic department and the school as a whole, I truly appreciate that. So we have a couple things that we're going to get going, and then we'll get into our individual student recognitions. But at this time, I'm going to bring Coach Trevisano up here to do the flower presentation for our seniors.
Okay, seniors, I need you right up here. Trainers, cheerleaders, players, come on up here. It's your time to get up in front of your parents and thank them for all they do. So seniors, come on forward. The rest of you stay seated. Let's see who's going to be first. Okay, here's what you're going to do. You're going to come up, you're going to grab, I assume that's a carnation. You're going to, everybody's going, is that a rose? I don't know what that is. Come on up, grab a flower. You're going to take it to your mom. You're going to give it to her. You're going to thank your mom and dad and your parents, who's ever here with you, for all they do. So you're up, my man.
My name's Cliff Spencer. Been on the team for about a year now. I just want to thank my mom, my dad, for everything they've done through me throughout my life. I know I don't say it much, but I really appreciate what you guys do for me.
I'm Brian Khalil. I'd like to thank my mom and my dad for always supporting me through the 4 years I played Mentor football.
Hello, I'm Nathan Valeri. I want to thank my parents for supporting me in the 4 years of playing football.
Hi, I'm Josh Amspaw, and I want to thank my parents for supporting me for the past 7 years I've been playing football. Hi, I'm Dominic Miller, and I'd like to thank my friends and my parents for supporting me throughout Mentor football.
Hi, I'm John Rowe. I would like to thank my parents for supporting me throughout my 4 years of playing Mentor football.
I'm Blake Harmon. I would like to thank my parents for everything you've done for me for the 4 years, and I love you guys a lot.
My name is Devin Harper, and I'd like to thank my mom for the past 4 years.
I'm Jack Spagley. I'd like to thank my friends and family. My name is Bobby Farley. I'd like to thank my parents for everything they've done for me the past 4 years.
I'm Alex Anger. I'd like to thank my parents for everything they've done the past 4 years.
I'm Michael Norris, and I want to thank my mom and my dad for everything they did for me in the last 4 years.
I'm RJ Fulmer, and I'd like to thank my parents for the last 4 years.
I'm Zach Crabba. I want to thank my parents and the coaches for the last 4 years.
I'm Antonio Bertolami, and I would like to thank my parents.
Justin Luke, I'd like to thank my parents for the last 4 years. You could raise your hand so I can find you easier.
I'm Luke Floria. I'd like to thank my dad and my beautiful mother for everything these past 4 years. Love you guys.
I'm Nolan Vernon. I'd like to thank my mom and dad for everything they've done for me.
I'm Joey Euler, and I wouldn't be standing here right now if it wasn't for the love and support my mom and dad give me every day.
I'm Sonny Odo, and I'd like to thank my parents for all they do for the last 4 years.
Justin Satterfield, I'd like to thank my parents for all the... Thanks for everything you guys have done the past 4 years.
I'm Frank Schmidt. I want to thank my mom and dad for everything the last 4 years.
I'm Kyle Bischoff. I would like to thank my parents, my family, the community, and my older brother for supporting me throughout my career.
I'm Marco Toth. I'd like to thank my mom and dad for all the support they've given me the past 4 years.
I'm Javon Ruff, and I would like to thank my mom and my dad and my friends for supporting me all 4 years.
I'm Chris Hatcher. I want to thank my family for supporting me the last 4 years.
I'm Byron Floyd. I want to thank my parents, my sister, my brothers, my coaches, and Hunter Kaleo.
I'm Jake Stereo, first year, but shout out to parents. I'm Charlie Hawley. I'd like to thank my mom, dad, sisters, and my dog for supporting me the last 4 years.
Greg Morris. I'd like to thank my family for the last 4 years.
I'm Peyton Boyd. I'd like to thank my family and everyone who supported me the last 4 years. My name's Holly Latterbeck. I'd like to thank my friends, my family, my coaches, and my teammates for the love and support the past 4 years. I love you guys.
My name is Carrie Halleck, and I would like to thank my family for all their support.
My name is Monica Ritchie, and I would like to thank my parents for all their love and support the past 4 years.
My name is Gianna Marinelli, and I'd like to thank my family, especially my mom, for everything you guys do for me.
My name is Ayana Hutcherson, and I'd like to thank my family for supporting me.
My name is Adriana Hill, and I'd like to thank my family for supporting me. My name is Darlene Lee, and I'd like to thank my friends and family for all the support.
My name is Yamila Arres, and I would like to thank all my family for supporting me this entire year. Thank you.
Thank you, seniors. We truly do appreciate the efforts of our seniors, and remember, once a Cardinal, always a Cardinal, and although your career here at Mentor's done, we hope that you come back and see us often. At this time, we're going to present our awards for our cheerleaders, so I ask Coach Kelly Berger to come up here to the microphone to present awards.
First off, I would like to start by thanking the football team and coaches for giving us so much to cheer for this season. It was an exciting year, and we are proud to be part of such a strong program. We'd also like to thank some other important people that have helped make this year a success and have supported us throughout the season. Cardinal parents and Red Line Club, Sheila Dings for all of our spirit wear needs, Judy Freeman for keeping us informed about team meals and providing the squad with a warm place to eat once the weather got colder, the athletic department and administration for their support throughout the season, the band, the trainers, and our mascot for all of his spirit. On behalf of the cheerleaders, we would like to extend a sincere thank you to Coach Trevisano for all that he has done for the Mentor football program, not only this year, but throughout his entire career in Mentor. We would like to wish you congratulations on your successful career as a Mentor Cardinal. I would also like to extend a special thank you to all of the cheerleaders' parents and families for their love and support of these athletes. We appreciate you taking the time to help get them to and from practices, games, and events, and being their cheerleaders in the stands. Thank you for making this the best year yet. I'd now like to introduce this year's junior varsity cheerleaders who will be earning their certificates. Brooklyn Blakesley. Megan Goebel. Diamond Hutcherson. Kylie Herwatsky. Grace McGowan. Emma Miller. Brooke Scafuro. Rachel Paspa. And this year's junior varsity captain, Haley Howell. Congratulations on a wonderful season. If I can have varsity line up on the side of the stage. This year's varsity squad not only cheered at the football games, but also participated in events outside of school. They competed at the annual Charlie Malta Cheer Challenge, where they were the first squad to ever win back-to-back championships. They have also volunteered at the Belisano Trike and Bike, events with the American Heart Association, the NAMI Walk, and March for Meals, to name a few. This squad is always willing to volunteer their time to help others, which speaks to their great character. I would like to introduce to you this year's varsity football cheerleaders. Our first-year letter, Molly Fee. Sade Henderson. Sydney Hope. Nina Kane. Kayla Kettlewood. Joe Worsing. And Ashley Walster. Second year letters, Aaron Farmer. Ainsley Lyles. Lauren Skelly. There you go. To the seniors, thank you for all of your hard work and leadership this season. You are tremendous role models and have given the underclassmen big shoes to fill. I'm proud to have coached this squad and look forward to all of the great things you will accomplish. I am proud to introduce them one last time as Mentor High School football cheerleaders. First year letter, Carrie Halleck. Second year letter, Monica Ritchie. Third year letter, Peyton Boyd.
It's a trophy.
Thank you. Holly Lakovic. And Gianna Marinelli. And our varsity captains this year were Monica Ritchie and Gianna Marinelli. At this time, I would like to invite the underclassmen up to speak.
Carrie Halleck is a dedicated Mentor High School student and cheerleader who has not only been committed to schoolwork, but also being a part of the 2019 varsity cheerleading squad. As a freshman, she made the junior varsity squad and was a part of the JV squad for her sophomore and junior years also. Although she is undecided on what college she will go to, she wants to become a veterinarian technician. Currently, she is a full-time Lakeland student and is involved in National Honor Society at Mentor. In her past 4 years as a Mentor High cheerleader, the positive atmosphere she creates is contagious, often leading to smiles and laughter at game days, volunteering events, and even at early morning practices. She encourages future and current cheerleaders to make sure you enjoy every moment, whether it be the big moments like meeting lifelong friends or the small ones like looking up at all the fans while standing on the field during pregame. Because before you know it, it will be your last time. This past year has been amazing with you, and I can't wait to see what the future holds. Good luck.
Gianna has participated in the Mentor High cheerleading program all 4 years of her high school career. Chosen to be on the varsity football squad her sophomore year, she has excelled and has grown to be the amazing captain and amazing person she is today. During the competitive cheer season her freshman and sophomore year, Gianna significantly increased our scores because of her precise tumbling skills and charisma. This year, Gianna cheers for both basketball and football varsity squads. Her experience and talent has truly changed our cheer program for the better and has influenced myself and other underclassmen to be the best cheerleader that we can be, and I'm excited that we can see what she will accomplish in the future.
Holly has been a part of the cheerleading program for all of her 4 years here at Mentor, being on the junior varsity football squad her freshman year and the varsity football squad for the 3 years to follow. Holly has also been a part of the competition team here at Mentor. Holly is a part of National Honor Society, student government, future leaders, and softball. She always puts the team first, encouraging all of us to be our best and always making practices fun. Holly's strong work ethic, passion, and outgoing perspective she expresses in life will lead her towards a bright future. Holly plans on attending Kent State University to major in nursing. Thank you for making these last 3 years I've cheered with you here so enjoyable, and this team will miss your positive energy you bring to the atmosphere. We are all excited to see what the future holds for you and wish you the best.
Wait, it's my turn.
Monica Ritchie has a deep dedication for cheerleading. Starting freshman year, Monica was on the freshman football cheer squad. Then she made junior varsity squad her sophomore year. Then Monica was on varsity cheer squad junior and senior year. This year, Monica was selected to be one of the varsity squad captains. Monica has brought kindness and leadership to the team and has been very helpful to other cheerleaders on the squad. One of Monica's favorite memories as a cheerleader was meeting so many of her friends, and she'll always be thankful for that. Over the last 4 years as a Mentor High School cheerleader, her positive attitude and mindset has been able to create an enjoyable atmosphere at practices and on game days and at other events too. Monica is planning on attending John Carroll University next year and is planning on majoring in education. She encourages future and current cheerleaders to cherish their moments while cheering because it goes by so fast. While doing this, she advises that they work as hard as they can and be confident in the best they can be. Thank you for making my first varsity season the best.
Peyton Boyd has been a part of the Mentor cheerleading program for all 4 years of high school. She was on JV football for the first year and varsity football for 3 years. Peyton was a competitive cheerleader for 7 years and filled in for the Mentor competitive team for one competition. She is currently undecided on where she wants to go to college. Peyton was always a hard worker and had amazing tumbling and jump skills. She helped all of us be the best we could be and always made sure we were getting things done during practice. I'm so glad I had the opportunity to not only cheer with her, but become close friends with her this year. Thank you for all the fun memories we've shared. I'm going to miss you so much, and I'm sad to see you leave, but I'm excited to see what the future holds for you.
How do I even? Good evening. I am Monica Ritchie, one of the co-captains of the cheerleading squad. I have cheered for all 4 years of high school and loved every second of it. Through long practices, our annual lock-in, various volunteer events, and the many team dinners and games themselves, I have gained lifelong memories and friends which I will cherish forever. I would like to start off by thanking my teammates. When spending as much time as we do together during the season, we became less like a team and more like a family. We would not be complete without any one of the amazing people on the squad. Good luck to those that will continue cheering on next year without us seniors. I'm sure you will all go on to do great things. I would also like to thank my coaches, especially Coach Berger. She not only provided us with the instructions to improve our cheerleading skills, but also with a good time, lots of laughter, and some lifelong memories. You are greatly appreciated for all your hard work and effort and will surely be missed. Lastly, I would like to give one final thank you to the amazing Menor High football players and coaching staff. They had an amazing season, and we are lucky enough to have got to cheer them on throughout. We would not be proud Menor High cheerleaders without them. Thank you.
All right. Hi guys, I'm Gianna. I'd like to start off by saying I don't honestly think that I'll ever be able to sum up in the right words anyways my experience this past 4 years. So basically I'd just like to say thank you to all my amazing coaches. You've all taught me so much and gave me so many opportunities. Thank you to my parents and my family. I wouldn't be where I am today without you. Thank you to our football team for giving us something to be so proud of. Thanks to all my best friends and being there for me. I'm gonna miss you guys so much. I wouldn't have changed anything about these last 4 years, so thank you to everyone in this room.
Thank you to all of these athletes for a great season. We will miss our seniors, but we look forward to what our underclassmen will bring to the squads next year. Thank you.
Again, thank you to our cheerleaders for their energy and their passion throughout the season. We appreciate those efforts. At this time, I'm going to bring up our athletic trainers, Kat Reese and Tyler Wright, to present our awards to our student athletic trainers.
Hello, everyone. I'm Kat, this is Tyler. We've had the astounding pleasure to be the athletic trainers to these lovely football players this year. We have been fortunate enough to have the help and support from all around. Thank you to the Red Line Club, the Cardinal parents, to Mr. Casella, Mrs. Lutz, and to Judy Freeman. I consider myself fortunate to have been at this high school for the past 9 years. Though the boys are a handful once in a while, they do find ways to make us smile and laugh on the daily. You guys have left me with so many wonderful and goofy memories that I will never forget. A couple memories are, during one football game, freshman game, big old Byron pulling me in front of him to protect him from an oncoming play that's coming to the sideline, as I scream like a little girl. My three stooges, Hunter, Kyle Christopher, Byron, wearing their fanny packs and being my amazing assistants during the freshman home games. Marco, blowing my mind with his lack of common sense when he's the first in his class, but he always makes me smile. My pretty boys, Lucas and Ian, making sure they look extra good each day before they step onto the field. My ultimate ADD child, Satterfield, that cannot sit still for more than 2 seconds in the training room and is always into something. My hungry boy, Nolan, that can eat Barrio every single day if they would only open earlier in the day. Brian, for always making fun of me for missing the trash can. And Jackson, who doesn't listen to anything I say. And that's only to name a small few. The other big important part of our job is having the support of our amazing coaching staff. Though they too are a handful once in a while, they truly are a great group of men to work with. Thank you, gentlemen. Of course, I want to extend an extra special thank you to Coach Triv. I started working at the school right out of grad school at the ripe old age of 23. I was young and naive and get frustrated with some of the boys' uniquenesses that I've learned to breathe through. Coach Triv was there to listen, to always deliver great words of wisdom. It is because of him that I learned to have patience with the kids and to see some things through other perspectives, on top of countless many other things that he has taught me over the years. Listening to my fellow athletic trainers around the county and the state complain about their football coaches, I always smile and think how lucky I am that I have nothing to complain about and that I love my head coach. Thank you so much, Triv, for truly being the best head coach to work for the past 9 years and for letting me be a part of your football family. On to our kids, our student training aides. Come on up. This year, we had a very big group of kids. We had 19, including freshmen, and then 13 from sophomores to seniors. These group of girls help the boys stay hydrated every single day, no matter what the weather. They help tape and wrap the boys up prior to practices and games, as well as they help take care of all their boo-boos. This year, our sophomores are Katrina Wagner, Peyton Smith, Sierra Pennell, Mia Norris, our juniors are Kira Westbrook, Danica Brinley, Paulina Balcombe, Sammy Davis, and Allison Bacchiol. And our seniors, Yami Nurasaris, Adriana Hill, special, Darlena Lee, and last but not least, Ayana Hutcherson, who has been with us for all 4 years. Now here are some of our youngins to talk about the seniors.
Good evening, parents, players, and coaches. I am Katrina Wagner, a sophomore trainer this year for the football team, and I had the honor to write a speech about one special trainer that I had the opportunity to meet and befriend this year, and that senior is Darlena Lee. Throughout the summer and winter, I got to know Darlena, and whoa, was I in for a real one. Every conversation I had with Darlena was full of laughs and chuckles about the most random things. And every time I see Darlena, she has a smile that stretches from ear to ear and a story waiting to be told. During the season, I also got to see how generous and selfless Darlena is. Although it was her first year as a trainer, she was always willing to lend a helping hand. She would always bring candy to games so that we had a little something to snack on while we stood on the sidelines, constantly asking each other, "What just happened?" Darlena has also given me, along with a handful of other trainers, countless car rides to and from practice, along with occasional trips to Chick-fil-A. Apart from being a chauffeur, Darlena is also a nail technician. I've not been blessed by the works of Darlena Lee, but I know other trainers have, and their nails are always done to perfection. Darlena's generosity and kind heart makes her the perfect fit for what she plans on studying, which is early childhood education. So on behalf of all the training staff, I want to thank Darlena for a great season. This is definitely one for the books.
Hey Bean, how are you doing today? Everyone knows this amazing trainer as Ayanna, but to us, she's Bean. I can't tell you exactly where this name came from, but it's always stuck. You've always been there for everyone, and you're always helping out. After high school, she plans to go into the Navy, which I think is the best option for her. She is very dedicated to being a trainer and cares so much for all of these boys. These past 3 years have been the best, and you're one of the reasons why. I can't seem to figure out what our best memory was because there are so many. One of my favorites has to be when we were all getting ready for the homecoming game. We were all in the bathroom blasting music and making TikToks for some reason. I remember dying of laughter simply because your laugh is so infectious. I can go on for hours talking about everything that's happened these past 3 years, but we don't have that much time. All I can say is thank you for being one of my best friends and always being there for me when I was down. Football next year will never be the same without you, so you please better come visit us.
Adriana. Oh man, has this season flown by. She was only a trainer for 1 season with me, but it feels like I've known her for a lifetime. It feels like yesterday when we introduced ourselves down at D-line. Adriana wants to go to either Kent State or Ohio State to study nursing, which fits her personality so well. There are so many memories that we have, but personally my favorite is when you would hold my tape and pre-rep while we would tape our boys. Your smile has the capacity to brighten up any room you walk into, and you have the ability to make anyone's day better. There is so much more to say, but we're running out of time. Thank you for everything you have done for this season. Next year will be so different without you. For the rest of our seniors, we will also miss your bubbly personality and your ability to make anyone laugh no matter the situation. We all wish you the best, and we all know you'll do amazing things no matter where you end up.
I've had the honor to write about one of the most outspoken and funniest trainers we've ever had. Yami has never been afraid to voice her opinions on any topic, including her music and fashion tips. Yami never once showed up to practice looking like a hot mess, always being dressed to the nines. Though she was always dressed to perfection, Yami would gladly show off her silly side. She would spend an entire practice game, you name it, dancing. On multiple occasions, she tried teaching us salsa dances, and let's just say that didn't go very well. Along with her being capable of making everyone have a laugh, Yami has shown her kindness to everyone. Through her busy schedule, Yami still made time to be an amazing trainer for 3 years. She's carrying on this experience to her college, where she's majoring in biology to go to med school. I'm glad I've had the honor to know Yami, and I hope she will never forget her experience as a mentor football trainer. Oh, back to Kat.
Thank you, girls, for all of your help this year. Watching all of you grow from little freshman boys and girls into young gentlemen and young ladies has truly been a pleasure. I will truly miss all the seniors. I wish you all the very best of luck in your future endeavors, and please come back and visit. Thanks.
Thank you to all of our sports medicine staff. I know they take great care of our athletes, and being a former athletic trainer myself, I know the time and the efforts that they put in, so I'm truly appreciative of everything they do. Now it's time to honor our football team. I know I'm probably going to forget one of these, but I'm going to bring up to the stage our head coach, who is Greater Cleveland Conference, Northeast Lakes, State of Ohio, Lake County Touchdown Club, and most recently Cleveland Browns 2019 Coach of the Year. So here he is, Mr. Steve Trevisano.
Well, this is just like class when I taught for 31 years. Everybody's in the back. How come is that? Or why do we do that? Afraid to come down in case we pick on you up there? That's okay. We love you. Let's get started. Kind of settle in a little bit. It's going to take a while. We're going to go by different sides of the ball, different coaches to come up and bring their kids up. When we do, we'll bring you up and we'll go one group at a time. Before we get to that, a couple of thanks. First of all, to the cheerleaders for all you do and dealing with us and putting up with us and being there along with us the whole time. Thank you for all you do. To the trainers, you have a very difficult job, all right? Putting up with these guys when they want something and they're hot and they're tired and they're sore and they're hurting, and you do a great job. To Kat and Tyler, truly thank you for everything. I will miss you, and it's been my honor and privilege to work with you for these years. To Mr. Casella, we've been together a long time, back when he was a trainer and all that, and Bowling Green guys together and that, and well, I guess I shouldn't say together, you were far behind me, but thank you and Sandy for all you do. To our superintendent, our board, and our principal, and all they do for a football program, thank them. To the Red Line Club, if I could get our officers to stand up, I really can't see who's out there or not. Michelle and Mary Beth, you out there? There they are. Thank you for being our presidents and all they've done. They stepped up and took over a tough job and made this year great, and thank to them. I know Bernie's not here. He's our treasurer, and he does a great job. Mr. Baird, Dave, you're here? You're back there? I don't know if he's in town. You're back there, Dave? There he is. Thank you. He did our website and did a great job with that, and I wanted to thank him for that. Erin, I know I saw her earlier. She's somewhere around there. Our secretary did a great job, to thank her. And then all of you parents who've done the different roles and tasks throughout the year and taking care of it. We would not be here without this club. I'll make that very sincere, and Mr. Casella knows that. This club gives us what we need to be successful, and I know it's difficult and time-consuming that, but thank you to the Red Line Club. To the Cardinal parents also are a big part of it. To the marching band and the others who are around for the football program, we appreciate that. Is Frank here? He's not? Tell him thank you for us. Frank comes every day and films practice so that we have it and we can watch it, and he's there for every game, and he's got to stand out in the cold and up top and do that, and I greatly appreciate everything he's done for us for the last 4 years. To the youth programs, to the middle school programs, and to all them for help preparing these guys to get to where they are. I'm sure the vast majority of them played all the way up through and got to where they are because of what those younger coaches did for them. To the parents, thank you. I know it's difficult. You start off when you're your kid's in the 9th grade and 10th grade, and you have to bring them every morning for that conditioning class, and it's 6:30 in the morning, and you're dropping them off every day, snow, rain, all that, and I appreciate you being a part of it. You've raised great young people, and in today's world, that doesn't happen all the time, and I want to thank you from the bottom of my heart of being great parents and doing the job. So guys, let's give your parents a big round of applause. To the players, it's been an honor to have been here all these years and to have done what we've been able to do. And I thank you for everything, for making the commitment, the time, the effort to what it needs to be successful in this world. And I'm truly proud of all of you and what you've become and how hard you work to do what you do. And I thank you for that. To this group of coaches behind, it's time-consuming, it's difficult, it's hard, but none of them would ever complain a day about it. They do a great job every day, and they prepare your kids, and they're great coaches, and they're great role models, and they help to create really, really good men, and I'm very, very proud of that group back there. And to all that help makes this football program, I could probably stand up here forever and say that. Thank you for all you've done for all of you. And for me, I'll ask is to my wife and daughters for being there for all these years and putting up with me and traveling around and sitting in cold and doing everything they've done. I appreciate them. I wouldn't be where I am without my wife and 2 daughters and now a son-in-law, so thanks to them. With that being said, I think I got most of my thanks. It's time. If I can get the wide receivers, come on down. You know, it's funny, while they're walking up here, we could be the team with the least amount of rhythm, but I was really proud of their one clap together. They did a great job with that. I was proud of you guys. Come on up. There was a lot of us. Looking stylish, Luke. Yeah, you guys are looking good. There was quite a few of us. I'm going to spend a little bit more on the older guys, but we're going to start. So when I call your name, or actually your group, step out front, and then when I call your name, step out in front again so everybody knows who I'm talking about. So if I could get the sophomores to come on forward, step up there, don't be bashful. There they are. Good job. Nicely done. Nicely done. We're going to start off with our certificate winners, and this was a really good group of kids. I'm really proud of this sophomore class of receivers. They came in from the beginning, and we started in January in the weight room, and then obviously through meetings every Monday morning and preparing themselves. They're a great group of kids who are going to be really good football players down the road, and I'm really, really proud of each and every one of them. First up, Cooper Allen. Coop, you down there? There he is. Hi, Coop. All right. Coop's getting his certificate. He did a great job for us this year. He works his tail off every day and comes to work and battles and goes against those varsity DBs and does a great job. And looking forward to him next year to watching from the stands, Coop, and you to get out there and you work and you eat a little bit more and get yourself a little bit bigger and stronger. And I expect big things from him. Cooper Allen. They're working on that one clap, aren't they? Rocco Bortnick, you out there? There he is. They have no rhythm. Rocco, another earning his certificate. Coaches, don't forget to pass out the T-shirts in the back. I'll get to Rocco in a second. With the T-shirt, there are a lot of smalls and mediums. They're a little bit bigger, so you can grab those in the sizes you want. Rocco, to me, was probably our most improved guy. He really did a great job from the beginning. He got himself better and better, and he learned the positions and really did a super job for us and got himself to the point where I think it was the last game, caught a big touchdown or one of those games towards the end, and expecting big things out of Rocco. He's coming in and working hard and battling next year. So great job, Rocco Bortnick. Up next, Sam Kish. You down there? He's not here? Oh. All right, Sam's getting a certificate. Good job, Sam. Thank you for everything. We appreciate it. Michael Norwood, you down there? There he is. Hi, Michael. Getting his certificate all year. My man's a good football player, and he suffered through, I think what was the beginning one was an ankle, and he came back and about 2 days later hurt his knee, or vice versa, one way or the other along that lines. And we're looking forward to him to coming out next year and get himself a little bit stronger. Another guy we got to keep feeding and getting a little more weight on and getting him ready. I think he's got a chance to be a really, really good one. He didn't get to do a lot this year with the injuries, but I was really proud of his effort and sticking to it and getting his rehab done, and we're expecting big things. Michael Norwood. Up next, Nick Schwalm. You over there, Schwalmy? What's wrong? Oh, he's there. All right. Also earning his certificate. He did an outstanding job for us. And I told Coach Janiak, we always talk about the young receivers. He's one of those guys who has really good hands, who works his tail off, who got better and better each week, and just did a great job for us. And we're looking forward to big things for him. I should say they're looking forward to big things from him as he continues to develop and grow and get to know it. And we're really, really proud of him and looking forward to big things. Nick Schwalm, thank you. Up next, certificate winner, Jimmy Shonar. You down there? There he is. You know, we got to meet today. He came down and met with me, and we talked about what he needs to do and where he needs to go. I think this guy's got a chance to be a really, really good one. He's got really good athletic ability. You know, he's got to hone in on the weight room here in this offseason and prepare himself and get himself ready to go. He did a great job in the JV level and preparing the defense with the scout offense and does a great job. He's another one who's going to hit that weight room hard in the offseason and get himself prepared and get ready to go. Certificate winner, Jimmy Schonar. Last one of the certificate winners, Ethan Smith. You down there, Ethan? There he is. This guy, if you don't know me very well, I don't like the cold at all. This guy's crazy. He comes, it was pretty cold some of those games. He comes running out there and, what do you have, just shorts and a t-shirt on. I'm going, what is wrong with you? And Coach, cold don't bother me. Okay, I like that. What I like about this guy is he's a hard worker. He's a tough kid. He battles, worked through an injury early and came back and really did a great job for us at the JV level and with the scout team and looking forward to big things for him and preparing and getting himself ready. I'm really proud of him. Certificate winner, Ethan Smith. And last but not least, step forward, Sean Allgood. This guy will be getting his first varsity letter, mostly through special teams. Did a great job for us on the kickoff return and some of those things and playing a little bit with the varsity and went through some injuries in the middle part of the season, but battled himself through, and they're looking forward to big things out of him and getting himself in the weight room and preparing himself and learning the game to where I know he does, and he's got a chance to be it. You look at it there, young guys, you sophomores, each and every one of you, look, there's 4 seniors that are all moving on to bigger and better things, and there's a lot of space for you. So it just comes down to which of you guys are going to work the hardest and prepare yourself. But again, first-year letter winner, Sean Allgood. Step forward, juniors. There they are. Come on up. This is another class I'm going to miss. These are a great group of young men who really battled hard. This was probably one of the deepest groups or deepest positions I've ever been around. You know, I told the vast majority of these guys could have gone in and played at any point. This group of juniors worked their tails off. They did great on the JV level, did great in whatever role I asked them to do, and they prepared hard, and knowing that the opportunities weren't going to be huge to start, but it never stopped them, either on JV games or if they were down on the scout field. They did that, and they did it well. This group's a special group of kids, and I'm really proud of them. First guy, Joey Koznowski, come on forward, Joe. There he is. Joe's also one of those juniors who just works his tail off. He's there every day. In fact, I was up walking the day after the season ended. I was on the track, and I look over, and there's Joe running routes and working hard and catching the football and preparing. That was 2-3 days later, and I know he's going to work hard, whatever spot he ends up into. He's that kind of kid that is just a great young man, and he works hard, and he's dedicated to his teammates, and he works hard and prepares every day, and I'm going to miss him, and I'm going to root for him. He's one great kid earning his certificate, Joey Koznowski. Up next, Pat Waite, also earning his certificate. Pat's another one of those great kids who I'm proud to have had the ability to coach for the last 2 years. Just works hard, loves his teammates, cares for the game, does everything I need him to do, and he always does it with a smile on his face, and he goes out there each and every day and he gives everything he has. You know, I've always said to people, we make this world harder than it is. You know, guys like him and Joe are the guys that you're proud of. They come every day and they work hard. Doesn't always get to play as much or didn't get the letter as much, but they come every day and they love being there, and they're going to be great successes in this world, and I couldn't be more proud of both these guys, and thank you, Pat, for all you've done, and I will be watching and rooting you on. Certificate winner, Pat Waite. Up next, first-year letter winner in football is Aiden Buckley. Attaboy. He earned his letter mostly through being a kick returner, and I got news for you. What was it, Medina? He took one to the house? He's a special kick returner. He'll be able to take over for Luke as the punt returner next year, and he was back there with them, and even times when people are kicking it all the way up in the air and down to the half-yard line, and they're looking like, uh-oh, here comes everybody. He did it well, and he did it very well. I think he's a great returner. I think he can be a great receiver. He has outstanding speed, great work ethic. You know, maybe I won't say he's got the best hands, but he's right up there. Whatever we throw to him, he's going to catch it, and he does a great job. Also a really good baseball player for us, outstanding young man, student athlete, earning his first varsity letter, Aiden Buckland. Up next, Colin D. Pasquale. He's down there. Oh, you're all the way on the end down there. Also earning his first varsity letter, mostly with special teams again, but also I think one of those guys who's got a great shot to be an outstanding high school football player. On a lot of teams, he's a guy who would probably have started. He runs great routes. He catches the football. I can remember, and I don't remember what game it was. I think it was over at Elyria, one of those, and something happened, and Colin went in the game, and they threw him the ball. He went high in the air, caught it, and made a big first down for us. And just proud of what he does. Even though he didn't get to play as much as he wanted, or maybe should have, he was there every day, and he always works hard. He's out there early, and he's catching the ball, and he's rotating in and running routes. And beyond that, he's just an outstanding young man who I'm very, very proud of, and just had a great pleasure of coaching, earning his first varsity letter, Colin D. Pasquale. Cameron Casca, step forward, Cam, down there. There he is. Also earning his first varsity letter on special teams. Another one of those good young wide receivers who's talented, who catches the ball, can play inside and outside, and is another one of those guys. And every one of these guys, these kind of kids, you just absolutely love to be around. Super young man, works hard, does well in school, does everything he's asked of, and does it well. He's out there working now and preparing himself to be one of those guys and be a leader of this football team. I couldn't be more proud of him, earning his first varsity letter, Cameron Casca. John Serpatowski, Big John. Also earning his first varsity letter. Also a good basketball player, great young man. Had a good chance to meet with him today and talk with him, and I look forward to big things out of him, or watching him next year. You know, as like I told those other guys, this group all needs to eat more. And we need them to get them bigger, even you look, and get them bigger and stronger and ready to go, and so that they're great at blocking as well as receiving. And John's going to be one of those guys who's going to battle and fight and do everything he can to be a starter on this football team. He's an outstanding young man, great student athlete, and I'm going to miss him. During his first letter, John Serpatowski. Up next, earning his second letter, Eric Coop. You know, I had the pleasure of working with Coots for a good portion of my career here. Knew his grandfather, who and his uncle and his dad, and just a great family. And Eric's a special player, a great baseball player, does super things there, and comes out here and he knows everything, and he works hard and he prepares. Again, another one of those guys on a lot of teams would be a starter and would have started for a number of years. He was behind two great players, and there was never that moment of, oh, me, or anything like that. It's just a kid who came to work every day and prepared himself as if he was going to start. And when his opportunities as the fifth wideout or whatever came up, he was there and gave everything he had, and he always does it with a smile on his face. And, you know, one time he missed a block or something, I'll go to say something, he kind of, you know, you start to yell at him, and then he kind of gives you that smile, so I kind of back down a little bit. But, you know, he always has that great personality, and he works hard, and he's an outstanding student athlete, great catcher on the baseball team. Looking forward to huge things from him in his senior year, earning his second varsity letter, Eric Cood. I actually should have mentioned that he's one of the best holders around. And he did a great job with that, so thank you. And lastly, on the junior class, also earning his second varsity letter, is Hutch Baird. You down there, Hutch? George. Another one of these juniors who's an outstanding player, had a great year for us. all year rotating and starting the vast majority of the year, and had a great number of catches throughout the year, and big ones at times. Very great, a good athlete, and a great student, and doesn't say much. When he talks to me, just shakes his head and agrees, and goes on and does it, and doesn't make mistakes twice. I expect big things out of him next year, and when we're watching from the far, I'll be watching these guys have great years next year. I'm really, really proud of Hutch and all he accomplished this year, and what a great young man he is and a quality person. I'm very, very proud, earning his second year, Hutch Baird. Now for the seniors. Step forward, you four. This is a great group of guys. 3 of the 4 are getting their third letter. I think the third one would have had it if he hadn't gotten hurt at one point during that other year. I moved over, I think in their sophomore year, to coach the wide receivers. I'd been with the defense for a while, and guy left, and we had some seniors that year were a handful, so I figured I'd come over and take a little control of that spot, and I got to know these 4, and these are special kids in my heart, and I'm going to miss each and every one of them. Not only that, they're great football players, and even more important like that, they're great young men. They keep me on my toes. 2 of them talk and laugh a lot. One of them kind of giggles in between, and the 4th doesn't say a word. So, and I'm sure you know what 4 they are. It is nice to see Nolan has cut his hair, so I'm really happy about that. I suppose if he could work on that younger brother, it'd be really good. That's there. So up first, we'll go with Justin first, earning his second letter. I think it was his sophomore year. You broke your collarbone in like a 7-on-7 or like that, and then missed the majority of that year. This guy's a great football player. A great young man. He has outstanding speed and makes it very difficult for people to cover him. And he blocked as hard as he could, and I always told him he needed to eat more and get a little more weight on that body, but he says, "Coach, I'm just fast." So he was really good at that. He's a special player. He's even more a special person in my heart, and I'm going to miss him, and I'll be watching wherever he chooses to go and play, and I think he's going to be a great college football player also. I'm very, very proud of you and all you've done and all you've accomplished, and I thank you dearly for the 3 years. Earning his second letter, Justin Luke. Up next, the quiet of the crew. Let's see if he steps forward. Atta boy. Atta boy. RJ. I got to say, he's probably worked himself through hard work, through dedication, through discipline into a very, very good wide receiver. He was an outstanding blocker. He had great hands, played hard. And really by the end it was very difficult to cover, and just really proud of him. And again, he won't say much. I look at him and say, "RG, what do you got to do here?" And he'd give me about 2 words, or if we draw plays on the board, he'd draw it up and point it to it. But more importantly, he's a super young man. Kind of kid that, ladies, if you're looking for a boyfriend, that's the kind of guy you should go right there. I was one of those quiet guys at one point in my life, and you girls always kind of ignored me throughout the years. And, no, I'm just kidding, but he's special, and he really is. And not is he just a great football player, he's a great person. He's going to be a great father and a great husband and a great worker down the road, and I couldn't be more proud of earning his 3rd varsity letter, RJ Fulmer. Up next, Nolan. Yeah, I like that haircut. Got to admit. No one ever said life was fair. In fact, I've told them since the day they arrived here, it isn't fair. Life has good days, life had bad days. You got to learn how to work through both. You got to accept the good, and you got to deal with the bad. My man had, in a matter of a milliliter of a second, went from one of his greatest plays he had here to a broken collarbone. And I'm all excited. I'm on the sideline and looking around and going, "Coach, you got hurt. How did I miss that?" I feel bad. He had to miss, 5 or 6 or 7 games throughout there in his senior year, and he's a 2-year starter for us. He's a great football player, and but never once was it, oh, woe is me. Oh, this is not fair. Life's not fair. This isn't right. He just went to work. He got his rehab coach. And it was funny. He used to be running around with his arm tucked in. He'd be jogging on the sideline. We'd make fun of him. But he worked hard, and he got himself back for the last 2 games, and I couldn't be more proud of him. I couldn't be more proud of the young man he is, what he's turned into. Another one of those great kids who's going to be a great father and a husband and a worker in the real world. And I couldn't be more proud of what you've become and how you've done it and how you handled it. Earning his 3rd letter, a man, Nolan Vernon. Up next, my guy Luke Flory, earning his 3rd varsity letter. I've known Luke for a long time and had an opportunity to watch him as a little guy and coached his brother and watched him grow. And he's special now. He's not just special as a football player, he's special as a person. And couldn't be more proud of where he's come and what he's done and where he's going. We talked through his college decision, and he was going to go far away, and then he said, "Can I switch?" I said, "Absolutely. You're closer to home. I can come watch." So I was full in favor of that. More importantly, as a football player, he's all Ohio. He's all district. He's all that. He's probably, and we debate a lot of things in our coach's office. He's probably, if not the best, one of the top 2 best who've ever played here as a wide receiver. I know he came in and he was a quarterback, and I said, "Man, this guy's he's a really talented wide receiver," and he's going to go on and become a great Mid-American Conference wide receiver. Someday, I think he got a shot to make it into the NFL if he really works out at it and do those. Beyond all that football stuff, he's a great kid. He's a great human being. He was a great leader. And I couldn't be more proud of where he is and where he's going and what he'll become as a citizen, as a father, and all those things. He's an outstanding young man. He's a great football player. I'm going to miss him. I'll be sitting in the stands watching, and I couldn't be more proud of him. And there's third varsity letter, Luke Florio. All right, wide receivers. Thank you, man. Up next, we're going to go to the guy who's a year behind me in high school. He looks like he's about 15 years behind me. He hasn't aged a bit in his coaching career. Coming up with the safeties, come on up, and my man, Coach Funk.
All right, so the safeties, come on up, and Jackson Paglio, come on up. No arguing. Be on good behavior today. All right, first of all, I'd like to say some thanks as well. First of all, to the coaching staff, defensively, offensively, just a great group of guys to work with, led by Coach Triv. Again, we spend virtually every single day with each other from the summer on through, and it really is more of a family than anything else. Secondly, to all the guys who play on the scout offense, it is probably one of the most difficult things to do. We teach them an entire new offense starting on Monday, and by the time we get to Tuesday and Wednesday, I'm pretty hard on these guys and expecting them to be able to look at a card and run the cards and do these things. And again, they do a great job. And this year was really quite extreme. We had everything from 5 wide receivers where they threw it every single play like Medina, to Cleveland Heights where it's veer option, and all of these different things. And all of the guys who come down on the scout offense did an outstanding job for us all season long. All right, so to start with our safeties. First young man, again, as I call your name, please step up so we can see you. Ian Bateman. All right, Ian is earning his certificate. He rotated, we had really 6 safeties on the JV team. All of them were sophomores, and they just really kind of rotated throughout the game. They were all on special teams and did a great job all season long. Ian is one of those guys, always there every day working hard, and again, a great young man. Drill work was always fun with Ian. He was one of those guys with the young guys that really were very competitive with each other. He's got to get a little bit bigger and stronger this offseason, as they all do, but earning his first certificate, Ian Bateman. Next up, Nathan Sabatini. Nathan, again, is another one of our certificate winners. Again, similar with Ian in the idea that these guys all rotated basically by series and JV games, all of them getting a lot of experience at strong and free safety for us. Another guy who, again, every day, great attitude, worked incredibly hard every day in practice, never really says much, never really smiles much. That's the most I've seen him smile, I think, all year. And another guy who, again, is going to have an opportunity in this offseason to get bigger and stronger and compete for playing time next year. Earning his certificate, Nathan Sabatini. Next up, Chris Finucane, earning his first certificate. Chris, again, rotated with the JV team. Another young man who did an outstanding job in terms of attitude and effort every day. Chris is really one of those guys who absolutely is an intense competitor every play. Actually got into a varsity game against Brunswick and made an interception to end the game, and when everybody was all excited and celebrating, similar to Nolan, he went from the greatest play of his season to the worst, where he also broke his collarbone, ending his season. But Chris continued to come to practice every day and help out. Again, another young man who's going to have a great off season, and again, will have an opportunity to compete for playing time next year. Chris Finucane. Next up, Mike Wenzel. All right. Earning his certificate. Mike came over to us during the season. Mike was over on the other side of the ball as a wide receiver, and came over here and really did a good job as the season went and got better and better, and by the end was able to rotate in and help out in the JV team. Another guy who's got to have a great off season, will be given an opportunity to compete for playing time, but does a great job, Mike Wenzel. Tyler Wilkinson. Earning his certificate. Tyler was one of the starters on the JV team at safety and then rotated with the other guys. Just did a great job all year long. Earned the 12th Man Award, which we give out to players for their effort during practice for the scout defense versus Clarkson, our Canadian team. Again, another guy with great attitude and effort every single day, and he is going to truly have a great off season, I believe, and I really think great things are in front of Tyler Wilkinson as a safety here. Aiden George. All right. Aiden was another one of the starters at safety, and then rotated with the other guys, played on special teams, and just did a great job all year long. Unlike Nathan, who never smiles, Aiden is pretty much always smiling in practice, no matter what's going on. Did a great job, was the 12th man versus Canton McKinley again for his work on the scout defense. And again, will be expected this offseason to compete for playing time. All right, this is the group of sophomores that we had. It's kind of a unique position in that we had 6 sophomores, and then the rest of the guys in our group were seniors. So there was really kind of a unique combination here. So the next group I'm going to talk about are our seniors. The first one I'm going to talk about is Bobby Farley. Bobby is earning his first letter here as he played on our special teams this year. The growth that this young man showed from a sophomore to a senior was incredible. He went from kind of a silly and goofy sophomore who really kind of just joked around a lot of the time, to where his leadership in drills, he was always telling guys, get lined up, let's get going. He did a phenomenal job this season for us in the group as one of the seniors, kind of stepping up in our drill work. He was a great teammate to have. So much that I got ripped by Coach Triv, because whenever we would make a great play on the field, somehow Bobby would be out by the numbers, chest bumping guys, celebrating, and we kind of had to rein him in a little bit and make sure the celebrations were more on the sideline and not running out on the field during the middle of plays. But again, Bobby's smile, his effort, his leadership is going to be missed, and I think he will do great things in the future. The growth that he showed in the football program, if he continues that in his life, he will be very successful. Bobby Farley, thank you for everything you did, Bobby. Next up, Antonio. Like the look, Antonio. All right. Tone is earning his second letter as a special team player for us. Again, he was one of the gunners on our punt team. He was on our kickoff team. Punt return team just did an outstanding job all year long. Another guy who did a phenomenal job in the offseason, working and working to get himself to be able to be a big contributor to our football program. And again, this kind of group, there were really the four of them that always were there. And Bobby and Tone were always kind of chirping with each other, and Marco, usually Marco and Tone, and Marco and Bobby. Devin in there as well, all kind of talking back and forth. But the moment we got ready to go and practice, the moments it was drill work, Tone was one of those guys who was focused and worked to get better every day. And again, I think he will be another one who is going to have a great life if he continues the attitude that made him a great teammate and a great member of the football team. Antonio Bertolami. Next up, Devin Harper. Devin is earning his second letter for us. He started actually at outside linebacker at the beginning of the season, and then we moved him back to free safety after the first game. He is an incredibly athletic player, just did an outstanding job moving back and forth, and in some of our nickel packages, he would move back to outside linebacker. He was the defensive player of the game versus St. Ed's. He was also our defensive player of the game versus McKinley. And he won numerous awards, including All-GC and second team All-District. Devin just was one of those guys who was constantly asking questions, constantly working to get better. A great competitor, incredibly athletic. His catches and ball drills were usually the highlight of the practice, and he really continues to tell us, Coach Triv, that he would have been a phenomenal wide receiver, by the way, as he likes to remind us of that. Devin is going to be missed. His athletic ability is really going to be missed, as well as just his great personality and what a great teammate he was. Devin Harper, thank you. The next of our full-time safeties, Marco Toth. Marco is earning his third letter, starting at safety, playing on all of our special teams. And again, many, many awards from this young man. Special team players of the game, defensive players of the game, all Lake County, all News Herald, all district first team, and first team all-state for his work. But more important than anything else, it's the great young man he is on and off the field. All right, he is #1 in his class. The academic work that he puts in, the mental part of playing football is amazing at times. When we're watching film and you're seeing he's moving 3-4 people, letting them know. But on top of that, he is about as intense and as physical a player as we've had. I am constantly reminding Marco not to lead with his head, because there's an awful lot in that head that is going to do great things in the future. And he kind of had a tendency to want to lead with that head too many times. He is going to be a phenomenal success in college and in life. And again, his intensity in practice, his willingness to just get after it every single day in drills, the fact that he would hold himself to an incredibly high standard as well as his teammates is what is going to make him an incredible success in life. He is going to be missed. Marco Toth. And then the last of the seniors that I get to talk about, Jackson Paglio. Jackson is also earning his third letter. Started outside linebacker for us and again on all of our special teams. Again, numerous awards, Lake County Defensive Player of the Year, All-State recognition, News Herald First Team. He was our own Defensive Player of the Game against Euclid and Elyria. Just did an outstanding job. Jackson is probably most well known for his absolute intensity 24/7. When it comes to out on the practice field, it doesn't matter. He's normally mad and screaming at me if we're not going full go. He brings an edge to this team and has brought it since he was a sophomore here. His intensity is going to be tough to replace in juniors and sophomores. There's going to be a huge vacuum in that part of it. This is still a physical game, and there has to be that willingness to push each other to that level, and that is something that Jackson has brought. All right, I'm going to miss this group with Jackson and those guys, but especially I'm going to miss the camaraderie of these guys. Normally, there are also corners and outside linebackers with us when we warm up, and I have gotten the advantage of being the only defensive position coach that's normally with this group. So the conversations that I've heard between not just this group, but the corners and the outside linebackers will stay with me for a long, long time. All right? With Marco bringing up knowledge that most of these guys had no idea, with Joey, who we'll talk about later on, bringing up knowledge that most of us never knew about as corners. This made a wonderful group of young men to work with, and they're going to be missed. The seniors, this group of young men, have set the tone for this program. And young guys, you've got a lot to follow through with this group. So thank you very much.
Come on up, corners. We got our new guy, Coach Ian Knipp.
What's up, Ray? All right. So again, this being my first year on the team, getting to know this group has been an absolute pleasure, and I wouldn't trade this year for anything. To first start off with our certificate winners, the sophomore group, please step forward, Ryan Guerreri. Ryan worked hard all year and grew as a player on this football team. Each day he approached with the mindset of getting better, and even though he got burned by Nizer on a daily basis in one-on-ones, I'm very proud of the growth I saw out of him this year, and I look forward to the years ahead. Next up, Max Kierlieber. Is he here? Yeah. Max was one of the most coachable players, I would say, in our group. The one guy in this group that every single coaching point that we pointed out throughout the course of this season, he applied right away and did so with the most effort that you can imagine. He's one of those guys that I'm always going to remember, and the attitude that he had and the role that he had within this team is something that I'm very, very proud of. Very proud of the growth that I saw out of him this season, and I look forward to the years ahead of us. First year certificate winner, Max Kierlieber. Next up, Braden Molinawi. In his boot. Braden was one of the hardest working and focused individuals in our group, whether it be his workout on the field or in the weight room. He always had a determination and always had that look on his face like he was going to conquer the world. Though he flipped himself into a walking boot towards the end of this season, I know next year he's going to come back stronger than ever, and I look forward to that. Earning his certificate for this year, Braden Molinawi. Next up, Mike Harrison. The level of play I saw out of Mike this season was very impressive. From day one, the way that he approached this game was something I was very, very proud of. He has natural abilities as a defensive back, and his talents speak for themselves. This season, Mike was a lockdown corner at the JV level and took advantage of each of the varsity reps that he received. Mike has a bright future ahead of him with this program and beyond, and this is just the beginning, earning his first certificate this season. Mike Harrison. Next up are juniors. We had two juniors. First up, Eric Martimus. Eric's such a hardworking, dedicated young man. The growth that he showed as a player is something I'm also very, very proud of. From day one of camp, I challenged Eric, telling him I was going to spend the entire week on his side of the field, being extremely critical of every single thing that he did. He welcomed that challenge, and the improvement that I saw out of him as a football player was something that I'll always remember. I can't wait to see what he's able to do in the future. And just one piece of advice for tonight: you're not a receiver. Earning his first varsity letter, Eric Martimus. Next up, Noah Gladish. Earning his second year varsity letter. Though Noah suffered a setback this year as a player, his presence on this team was not lost. Noah was always there on the sidelines or on the field to share tips and pointers and help our group grow as a whole. Though I know this season was very, very frustrating for Noah, we look forward to getting back one of the best corners in the state to full health next season, and I know his senior year is going to be one to remember. Earning his second year varsity letter, Noah Gladish. And now our seniors. First up, Joey Euler. Not only as a football player, but also as an Eagle Scout, I think that he deserves a round of applause for that achievement as well. Joey is such a positive personality, and for me, he made every single day enjoyable. Whether it be with his super sweet somersaults that he had to show off every single day, or the absolutely horrible jokes that he wanted to present every single day, Joey brought light to every single practice that we were out there with. Joey accepted his role on this team and worked hard to help everyone get better, and was a big part of the success that we had as a team. Joey has a very bright future ahead of him, and I look forward to seeing what's in store. Earning his first year varsity letter, Joey Euler. Next up, Sonny Odo. Sonny was, I would say, the strongest leader within our group. He wasn't always the most vocal leader, but he always led by example, doing things the right way and set the standard for all the underclassmen. I often had to remind myself that he was recently moved to a new spot on the field and hadn't always been a corner or a defensive player for that matter. Sonny's natural athleticism and talent helped to ease the transition, and the impact that he had on this defense this year was huge. He led the team in pass breakups and locked down some of the top receivers in the state. He excelled as a corner as well as a safety on our defense. I'm very proud of the season that he had, and I look forward to seeing what's in the future for him. Earning his second year varsity award, Sonny Oda. Thank you.
We're going to continue with the same group that warmed up together. Outside linebackers, come on up, and Coach Dean Paglio.
All right, so we'll start with the sophomores. So we'll start with Dylan Koss. He'll receive his certificate for football. Dylan did a really good job for us this year. Oh, he's a junior though, right? Damn, I knew that. My bad. I'm already screwing this up. Did a great job for us this year as outside linebacker. He worked hard. I know he had an injury there late in the season, but he came back and continued to work hard. And I was real proud of him. Continue to work hard, and we'll see what happens next year. Dylan Cross. Evan Nip. Is he here? Nip? No? Okay. Vito Saktis? Vito. For me, you gotta love a kid named Vito. Vito did a great job for us. He was always smiling out there, always having a good time. He played a lot for us at JV. He was also our punter this year, and he was always smiling. I really liked his intensity. He always seemed like he was having a good time out there. He worked really hard for us. And the only time I saw him not smiling was maybe when he got his punts blocked. So he did not care for that. So Vito, congratulations. Drew Smith. He's a certificate winner. Drew was, he could play both sides as an outside linebacker, the strong side, the weak side. We pretty much had the younger guys learn both of them. And he did a great job stepping in on any one of those positions we put him in there. He was always working hard, and I was real thankful to coach him and keep working hard and keep eating, and good things will happen to you. Drew Smith. Dominic Kozan. So again, Dominic was our, he would play both sides like most of the younger guys. We teach them both. So he would step in and play wherever we asked him to, and did a great job. The thing I learned about Dominic, I didn't realize how fast he was in a straight line. Now, if he had to turn or something, that was a different story. But from going to point A to point B, he was a pretty fast kid. So a lot of potential there, so keep working, and good things will happen for you. Is that all? Oh, Dean Duda. Dean played Viper for us as JV. He did an exceptional job. You got to watch Dean play. He was always around the ball, and he always played hard, always making plays. He definitely earned that spot as the starting Viper on JV. So Dean, keep working hard, and you should do good things. Congratulations. Certificate winner. Did I miss anyone else? No? All right. There was only one junior, which I screwed up, sorry. Oh, no, okay. That's right, Aiden Limtree. Aiden Limtree. He is earning his second-year letter winner. Aiden Limtree played a bunch of special teams for us on the varsity level. Aiden came from safety over to outside backer this year, so it was a little different. You're a little closer to the ball in the box, but he did a good job. He's learning that. By far on the JV level, he really pretty much ran that defense for us, and he communicated for us what was going on out there. So I really appreciate that. I think Aiden's going to have a great senior year here if he keeps working hard. So Aiden Limtree, second-year letter winner. Good job. Evan Boyd. Wow. That's impressive there. First-year letter winner. All right. So Evan moved from inside linebacker to outside linebacker. And that is not an easy process. It's a whole different set of keys to look at, different footwork, your eyes are all in different places. But the best thing I can say about Evan, he's probably one of the most coachable kids I've had. He just fit right in and listened what we taught him and picked it up immediately. It was really amazing. He did a great job this year for us. So I'm really expecting big things from him for next year. So keep working hard, and thank you, congratulations. Evan Boyd. Seniors. So we'll start with Zach Caraba. Zach. First-year letter winner. So Zach has a heck of a history here at Mentor football. He started as a defensive lineman, right? And then he moved to inside linebacker, outside linebacker, and maybe wide receiver, I don't know. But Zach was I was lucky to have him on our team. He was always working hard, never complained. He was probably in our drills the hardest working kid we had out there, making sure those young kids knew what they were doing and stuff like that. Zach played a lot of special teams for us and came in the game whenever we needed him. So I'm really proud of Zach. Zach's going to become a Marine, right? So congratulations. So Zach Caraba, stay up there. And then the other senior here is Alex. Alex Anger. He's a second-year letter winner. So it was a little tough for Alex. So Alex suffered an injury in 2 days. I guess I can tell that story real quick. We were, was it second in July, 2 days July. And he was guarding someone and he made a heck of a play and fell down and he broke his collarbone. But before the play, I always had this thing with Alex is I always made him do push-ups when he didn't get in the stands properly, which was a lot. So Alex makes this great play. I don't know what's happened. I'm just like, Alex, man, you know, your stance was terrible. Go do push-ups. And, you know, he just doesn't say anything, right? Just goes aside and he comes back. He's like, Coach, I can't do push-ups anymore. I'm like, what do you mean? He's like, my collar hurts. And I look at his collar. I'm like, oh boy, I think you need to go see a trainer. So that's his kind of person he is he didn't complain. His collar was like broken in half, not said a word, just wanted to go do push-ups. So so that was a tough break for Alex this year. He came back, he worked hard, and if you watched us at the end of the year, Alex really started playing more. He's one heck of a kid. I'm going to miss him for sure. What a great character, and so whatever you do, I'm sure you're going to be successful. So these two seniors, I'll say a couple things real quick. So the younger guys, I would look up to these guys. These seniors, I think, really show you what kind of program mentor football would have. And if you look up to these guys kind of like are the ones you should look up to and see and learn from them, all right? Thank you.
We'll finish up with the linebackers. Let's get the inside linebackers to come on down. And Coach Wilcox.
All right, hi guys, I'm Coach Wilcox. Come on boys, hustle up. All right, here we go. We got the young buck here, the freshman here, no? No? Okay. All right, let's get started here. Here is your inside linebacker group, a great group of kids to be around every day. They were a tough group, very serious-minded, but you know they really gelled together and had just a really fun group to be around every day. So it was my pleasure to coach them on a daily basis. Let's start off with our certificate winners. Colin Sorge. All right, Colin is he's a great kid who had an unfortunate shoulder injury at the beginning of the season. He had played through it and continued to battle until he had to get surgery. He came back and helped when he could and was a good teammate throughout the process, and I'm hoping that he can recover quickly and be back with us next year. Colin. Next, we have Anthony Sugar. Shug. All right, Shug. Anthony's a fun kid to be around. He took on any role asked of him this year, big or small, and he did a lot of the little things that the younger guys do without a single complaint. He was a favorite among the team, as you can tell, who everyone cheered for every time he got in the game. This is because of his humble attitude and his strong effort. He brings a great attitude to work every day and has a positive effect on the people around him. Anthony Sugar. Jason Robichek. All right. Robo, as you can see as he walks up here, is a very quiet kid. He's not one you're going to get a lot of words out of, but he does things the right way every day. He continued to make improvements every week throughout the year, and you can tell that football means a lot to him. He lives hard, and he focuses on the little things, and his long frame and athletic ability give him potential to be a big contributor moving forward. Jason Robichuk. All right, earning his first letter, Aiden Fellows. Aiden was also he was the 12th man for the St. Ed's playoff game. Aiden made the adjustment early in the year from DN to linebacker and really started to come into his own as the season went on. He possesses a rare athletic ability and is a punishing tackler. He did great things for us on special teams and was an outstanding JV player for us. He also took on important roles on the offensive and defensive scout teams that prepared the team each week. As Aiden continues to learn the ins and outs of the position, he's going to do very well moving forward. Aiden Fellows. All right, junior and letter winner Jeff Norwood. Look at that smile. Jeff is a good-hearted kid that is very popular among his teammates. He did an excellent job as a JV player this year and had a consistent role on special teams. He has good instincts and excels in pass coverage in the blitz game. He demonstrates the ability to lead his teammates and communicate well on and off the field. He's gotten better year after year, and this off-season will be a big one for Jeff. Jeff Norwood. All right, also earning his first letter, Andrew Edwards. Andrew is another junior who was a big contributor on the JV team and is special teams this year. He also worked as our first backup on the varsity group. Andrew really understands how offenses work and can diagnose a play as good as anyone. He is cerebral and gritty on the field. He may also be the hardest hitter among the linebacker group. Don't tell the seniors that. His strong work ethic and knowledge of the game will help him greatly moving forward. Andrew Edwards. All right, earning his first letter and 12th man for the St. Edward's game, Greg Morris. Greg is a senior who is the glue among this linebacker position group. He's very soft-spoken, and he's a conscientious person with a huge heart and a love for Mentor football. Throughout his time here, there isn't a thing that we asked of Greg that he didn't attack to the best of his ability every day. He busted his butt every offseason, battled in practice every day. He pushed his teammates, led drills, and took on an extremely important role in the scout team. He's a perfect example of how senior leadership doesn't have to come from the guys who get the most attention. He's a hard worker, a good person, and has a very good sense of humor. And he will make a great pharmacist one day. Greg Morris. All right, senior Justin Satterfield, earning his second letter. All right. Sat was second team All-District and All-GCC. He was also Player of the Week versus Strongsville. Justin obviously listened very closely each time Coach Tribb talked about the will that Mentor Cardinals need to have. Slightly undersized and without a whole lot of varsity experience, Justin stepped up and had a tremendous senior season. He took a beating and was constantly dealing with nicks and dings throughout the season, but he never, ever gave in. It was a pleasure to watch as his instincts grew and grew throughout the season. He had the speed to punish you as a blitzer, a great understanding of where he fit in coverage, and really came into his own when pursuing the run game. Best of all, Justin played his best football as we headed into the playoffs. Because of his dedication to studying the game and a constant drive to improve, he developed a great eye for the game. Justin was outspoken and committed to his position group and to his team. He has a great energy and enthusiasm that will be sorely missed next year. Justin Satterfield. All right, and last but not least, earning his third-year letter, Kyle Bischoff. Kyle was second team All-District, News Herald All-Star, and All-County. He was a Player of the Week for the Clarkson game and Special Teams Player of the Week for the Medina game. Kyle has been a constant presence on the field for the Cardinals over the past 3 years. He dedicated himself to constant self-improvement and was always motivated to gain that extra inch. It was this level of dedication that caused his teammates to vote him as a captain. Kyle is a great student, a gym rat, and a true tough guy. He battled through a slew of physical setbacks, but kept working. Even when he was limited during the offseason, he always did everything he could to be a part of things. This carried over the field where he took on every role we threw at him this season. In a single game, Kyle could be seen playing D-end, blitzing the quarterback, dropping off of a slot receiver, and stuffing the inside run game, as well as playing special teams. He's an all-around football player, and he made a great difference on this team. He's going to go on to be a great college football player and excel in whatever he does. Kyle Bischoff. Thanks, fellas.
Up next, we're shift to the other skilled group on the offense, and we're going to bring up the running backs and also the kickers, running backs and kickers.
All right, so while this group's coming up here, I want to just say a couple thank yous. First to my family. Thank you for all their support. The coaches, special thanks to Coach Paglio, Coach Knepp, Coach Gauthier, Coach Lautman. We ran the JV on Saturday mornings. Those guys did a great job. Thank you very much. To the players, thank you. The trainers, thank you very much. Allie, Sammy, and Mia, thank you for always having water for my guys. And lastly, Coach Triv, thanks for everything. All right, so kickers, we're going to start off with you guys. We're going to start off with our two certificate award winners, Anthony Evans and Matt Meglin. All right, these two young men shared the JV kicking duties, alternating kickoffs and extra point field goals. These two did a great job. I really look forward to seeing them get a little bit stronger in the offseason and work on their position kicking. I also want to thank them for reading off our offensive play scripts every day so that I could signal in the offense. They did a great job, and look forward to these two doing a lot of things for us in the future. Anthony Evans and Matt Meglin. All right, next up, earning his first letter, Andrew Smith. Andrew was our place kicker, extra point and field goal kicker. Andrew was just an absolutely amazing weapon for our kickoff team, and he really made that an exciting part of our game. His ability to place the ball anywhere on the field opened up numerous opportunities for that FH gang, they know what I'm talking about, to make big hits and recover the ball all over the field. Really look forward to him having a strong offseason, and I anticipate next year being a great year for Andrew. He's going to have a lot of fun, and he's going to go somewhere pretty big. Andrew earned himself Co-GCC Special Teams Player of the Year, First Team News Herald, All Lake County Touchdown Club, and Second Team Ohio Northeast Districts. Andrew Smith, thank you. Good job. Last kicker that we're bringing up is Jake Stereo. All right, Jake handled our punting duties. His regular season was not the most entertaining for him. We didn't punt very often, but whenever he was called upon, he did a great job. This being Jake's first year playing football, I think he learned quite a bit. I really wish he would have maybe come to us a little earlier. He may have not been a little bit more than just a punter. Jake is an outstanding soccer player. Every time I would try to just go through Twitter and catch up on the Menor Athletics, every time for a boys soccer game, it was either an assist from Stereo to a goal or an assist from somebody to Stereo for a goal. He's an amazing athlete, and as I said, he probably would have done more than punt for us had he come to us a little bit earlier. Understand that Jake did something that a lot of people don't normally do here at Mentor. He lettered in 2 sports during 1 season, and that's a heck of an accomplishment. I really wish Jake the best of luck next year and a great future. Thanks a lot, Jake. All right, now we'll go on to our running backs. All right, earning his certificate is Nick Farley. Step up. All right, Nick played JV ball for us this year. He played on almost every JV special team. I knew I could always count on Nick whenever I needed a special team scout guy to jump in there. He's a hard-nosed kid. He likes to hit. He just loves the game. He did a great job this year going down to that scout team and giving the defense the best he could give them all the time. I really look forward to watching his development in the offseason. Certificate winner Nick Farley. Next up, Brennan Panhorst. All right, Brennan's receiving a certificate award. Brennan played JV ball for us again this year too. He was our long snapper for JV punt and the snapper for our JV field goal team. He is a extremely intelligent young man, thank God, because he helped our group GPA out. He is extremely hardworking. He's a kid that I could see in the future possibly becoming a coach himself. He understands the game and just gets it. He's a heck of a leader. I really look forward to seeing him step up throughout the offseason and take some leadership in January when we get back after it. Certificate award winner, Brennan Panhorst. All right, next up we have Evan Harper. Evan is receiving his first letter. Evan played JV for us, also started on our varsity kickoff return this year. Here's an extremely talented young man. He's going to turn a lot of heads as a junior if he really locks in and focuses in on this offseason. He hasn't even come close to unlocking the potential that he has. Hopefully with a strong offseason, a lot of film study, Evan's going to make a real big impact next year as a junior. First year letter winner, Evan Harper. All right, next up, earning his second letter is Riley Coughlin. Not only is Riley earning his second letter for football this year, he also learned the nickname of Tonka. It was kind of our special package where he was the only part of the package that we put in when we wanted to get a little bit old school and do some smash mouth stuff and just let Riley start running people over. Riley's got a great work ethic and he battled his way to earn the playing time that he got. He broke out in the Elyria game and proved that he was ready to step up and take that role. Riley had a great junior season, and I look forward to him continuing to be the leader that he is and step up and prepare to dominate as a senior. Riley Coughlin. All right, and to one of my seniors, Dominic Miller. Dominic Miller's earning his first letter. All right, you know, Dominic is a great example of what our program really stands for. Dominic never started. Dominic really never played a whole lot. But you know what? He came to work every day. He worked his butt off. He never complained about anything. And he knew what he had to do. He had to go down every day as a senior and work against our starting defense. He gave everything he had every day. Dom is a straight-up team guy. Okay, he knew exactly what he needed to do on a daily basis, on a weekly basis to make our defense better. And as you can tell with some of the scores that we had, and our defense keeping our offense on the field, you know, he did his job. I will miss a lot about Dom. You know, he always had some interesting pre-practice conversations about some of the different games that he would play, and argue with Brian and Riley about, you know, who's better at Fortnite and whatnot. It was also quite entertaining to watch him always eat the hottest wings at Quaker Steak when we would do our backs night at Quaker Steak. All of a sudden he's sitting there dripping sweat, but he says he loves it. You know, he always brought a laugh to our group, and that's going to be missed every day. Great young man with a hard work ethic, and you know, if he keeps that work ethic going throughout, he's going to accomplish a lot of things, and I wish him the best to his future. Dominic Miller.
Well, I was just informed that somebody just got here. Where you at, Nazir?
I'll give you that.
You guys thought you were done with me. Only fitting that Nazir is up here. A little bit late and fashionably late as that. But not enough that you can say about this guy. The level of talent that we saw at the receiver position this year was pretty exceptional. Each week we challenged Nazir at the task of covering the opposing team's most talented receiver. And this was a challenge that I every single week looked forward to. He knew every single one of these individuals by name. He knew their strengths and weaknesses before we even had the discussion of who it was actually going to be. Nazir is somebody who has that hunger for the game that you wish that every single player had. The work that he put in both on and off the field was pretty impressive. He was the kind of individual who approached every single day with the confidence in his abilities and the leadership that helped to guide our position group. He finished this season leading the team in interceptions and would have had a few more if he would have learned how to use both hands when catching the ball and not just one. In all seriousness, Nazir is a very, very talented young man, both on and off the field, and I look forward to watching you play in the upcoming years at St. Francis University. Second-year letter winner, Nazir.
Let's go with the D-line. Come on up, Coach Burwald.
Truett here. It's Truett here. What about Carson? Carson or Truett on here? Okay. All right, as we're coming up here, first of all, foremost, I'd like to also thank my family, wife for putting up with me through the year, and all the good and the bad that I brought home, you know, was always supportive of everything. I'd like to also thank the players that helped my son toughen up a little bit this year. Every time I turn around on the sideline, whether it's after the game or even during the game, sometimes him and Marco would be over there boxing, or he'd be over top of somebody's shoulders. They'd be throwing him around and stuff. So I appreciate you guys getting him a little bit tougher as we go along. I know it's going to pay off for him in the long run. So I appreciate all of you guys. Starting out, I'm going to have the freshmen and sophomores step forward. All my freshmen and sophomores step forward, please. Good. And same thing, as I call your name, you go ahead and take another step forward. Starting out, my freshman, Brennan Vernon. So not many freshmen letter in the program here in this past, been 4 or 5 maybe throughout the years. Not only did Brennan letter, he started all 14 games this year and led the D-line in total tackles. He earns many numerous awards, postseason awards, and he will be looked at as a leader of the defense over the next 3 years. Obviously, he needs to get stronger and continue to become a student of the game. We're looking for great things from him in this offseason, earning his first letter, Brennan Vernon. To my sophomores,
First, Matt Saver. Matt played a huge role in the JV success this year as he started all 10 JV games at DN. He'd be looked at to provide us depth next year at the varsity level, whether it's inside or outside, as well as on special teams. He needs to get stronger in the offseason and will also be looked at as a leader over the next few years. Earning your certificate, Matt Saver. Caleb Mitchell. Caleb rotated at D tackle at the JV team this year. He knows he's got the ability to provide depth for us next year, and with the great offseason, getting stronger, and when we had a great talk a couple of days ago about what he needs to do to improve, looking for great things this offseason out of him and providing us depth next year, earning our certificate, Caleb Mitchell. And the last of the group, Benny LaDuca. Benny dominated the JV games this year from the D tackle position. Earned a lot of playing time in many of the varsity games. You will need to have a good off-season, the ability to be able to provide us at least depth, if not, depending on what we do next year with our line 3 or 4 man, provide us a starting position and play on special teams. Needs to become more of a consistent player and get stronger in the weight room, earning his first letter, Benny LaDuca. Juniors, step forward, please. Carson's not here, right? Okay. Hayden's not here. Trick. Connor Trick here? Oh, he's right in front of me. I didn't even see him. Connor Trick. Sorry. Click right bottom. Connor's a great unselfish team player. So he's going to work and get bigger and stronger this offseason, and we'll be looked at to help provide depth and leadership on special teams for us next year. Great kid, you know, great work ethic. Always heard great things about what he did for the scout team for us this year, and looking at, again, for great things out of him next year. Earning a certificate, Connor Trick. Is McGinty not here? Okay. Jamie Klein. Jamie rotated as a JV DN and played on varsity special teams. He will be expected to have a great offseason, provide us depth next year to push the other 2 DNs that are returning. Be able to give us depth at that position, and is looked at to provide us depth on special teams, if not a starting role in the special teams next year. Earning his first varsity letter, Jamie Klein. Greg Perdina. Going into this year, wasn't quite sure what we had with Greg, and he did nothing less than exceed all expectations, starting all 14 games this year, with one of the most memorable moments came at the end of the Ignatius game, second and quarterback, or having his interception and run after the interception versus Euclid. Led the D-line with quarterback sacks and will be looked at the very high expectations next year, earning his first letter, Greg Perdina. Preston Cardina. Preston came off of ACL surgery. He sustained an injury halfway through last year. Came back. We weren't quite sure how much we were going to be able to push him early on. So we limited his playing time to start the year to make sure he was fully recovered. He came back, he developed into one of the top defensive tackles in the state, and will have a great offseason. He's going to get stronger and faster, and we'll have this full offseason develop that speed and strength. Needs to become more consistent, and we'll be looked at to dominate games if he does that this year. Earning his second letter, Preston Cardina. Seniors, step forward. So unlike Coach Funk, he has got stories to tell for years to come from his guys and the things that they were talking about in pre-practice. Unlike Coach Funk, I actually want to forget all the stories that I heard in pre-practice from you guys. So You know, I look forward to not telling those stories anytime soon. Starting out, Cliff Spencer, step forward. Cliff came to us from Euclid, and we tried him a little bit at some other positions, fit in at the D-line for us. Unselfish player that helped the team in any way he could. His great attitude, his willingness of always wanting to get better and help others get better will leave a lasting impression on the young D-line. Earning his first letter, Cliff Spencer. Amspaugh, Josh Amspaugh. He had some injuries which limited him this year, but he helped out in any way he could. He was always first one to step up when something was needed. Appreciate everything that he gave to the program over the last 4 years and the attitude and the effort that he always had, always smiling, always wanting to help out. Earning his first varsity letter, Josh Amspaugh. Nathan Valeri. Sustained a knee injury that limited his ability to practice and even get some playing time this year. His need to be a part of the team pushed him to make it back for the last few weeks of the season, and that will never be overlooked. His wanting to help make the team better and help coach the others while he was out was very much appreciated. Very unselfish player, and there's a lot of great things to look forward to in life. Earning his first varsity letter, Nathan Valeri. Michael Norris. So Michael took a couple years away from football. Had to work hard to prove himself this year. You know, and I remember one point sitting in the varsity locker room after films this year. He was questioning why he was coming out. He worked his way all the way from being a scout team player into the rotation at DN position and played in a lot in all 14 games this year. Ended up second on the D-line with sacks and quarterback pressures. His effort and relentless pursuit to get to the football paid off all season and played a huge role in our comeback win versus St. Ignatius with a huge fumble recovery in that game. Came nothing more than having a great effort to the football. These types of plays will have him being remembered for years to come and being talked about as having high motor and a great effort. Earning his first letter, Michael Norris. Javon Ruffin. It's more than I heard him say all year right there, what he just said. Ruffin. Javon lacked in size, he made up with his heart and how hard he played in all the time. He went from being a scout team defensive tackle last year to starting 3 games and played in at least half, if not more, in all the games this year. The 2 plays I will never forget Javon this year were his athletic-looking interception against Euclid and him causing a fumble versus St. Ed's on the 1-yard line right before the running back crossed the goal line. The great picture on the News Herald that he's got posted on his Twitter thing now. It's an awesome picture. His positive attitude and work ethic will not be forgotten. I've already talked to some of the younger guys about it doesn't matter how big you are, it matters how, your heart and how hard you're going to play, and Ruffin proved that no matter where you're at, you're going to be able to get better and be able to play. Earning his second letter, Javon Ruffin. And Frank Schmidt. So Frank went through a tough offseason, had tore his ACL last year, early in the year, got surgery, came back, and they found out that there were some complications with the surgery and ended up having to have their reconstructive ACL surgery all over again, which cost him this year. Went through some tough times with that, but he never felt sorry for himself. He took on the role as an assistant coach, and his positive attitude and want to help others speaks volumes for his character. He couldn't just walk away, but it's not just this type of person Frank is. After being a part of this year and seeing how great everything is and being a part of the game, he is also now looking at playing in college. And I know and hope that he's able to do as he will be a beast in college. Earning his third letter, Frank Schmidt.
Thank you, guys. Up next, the offensive line and Coach Gray and Coach Gauthier.
Blake, how we doing today? Good. Could you scoot back so I can see you? If I could get the sophomores to step forward, please. Scoot back. All right, we'll start with Sam Mariner. Sam is earning his certificate. Sam was a kid who was always ready to go. Whenever we needed anyone at any position, Sam was always right there, volunteering to go in. He also did a great job giving us some depth at the JV level, earning his certificate, Sam Mariner. Brandon Ryan. Brandon had a lot of potential to do a lot of good things at the beginning of the year. Unfortunately, an injury took him away for the season. But, I mean, if you guys know Brandon, you know that he went through the whole season with a smile on his face. If you see him in the hallways at school, he is always smiling. And, of course, as I say this, he's trying not to smile, doing a good job of it. But earning his certificate, Brandon Ryan. Blake Rice. Blake is a sophomore earning his certificate after a great year playing center for the JV team. Played a large role in every JV game. Blake's a quiet kid, but you can tell how much he loves the game. He was also a guy who helped us on the scout team, was always reliable down there. Earning his certificate, Blake Rice. Danny Call. Danny's earning his certificate. We got Danny on the offensive line from the defensive line maybe 1 or 2 weeks before the season started. But Danny immediately embraced his role, was able to start every JV game for us, and did so with a positive attitude. And he really grew as a player throughout the year, and I'm excited to see what he does in the future. Earning his certificate, Danny Call. Mitch Capel. Cable's earning his certificate. He's another person who we got right before the season started. Even though he had to switch positions, he still came to practice with a positive attitude every day. He's another guy, if you see him in school, he's always saying hi, always smiling, and that's going to help him out in the long run. With a full off-season of offensive line training, I think he's got some real potential. Earning his certificate, Mitch Capel. Who else we got over there? Joel Dorsey. Joel's earning his certificate. Joel always brought a positive sense of humor to our group. He took some really big steps forward at the end of the year, improving his game. He's another guy who helped us on the scout team as well as playing in a lot of the JV games. Earning his certificate, Joel Dorsey. John Rice. John's earning his certificate after being a great teammate all year. Played whatever position we needed him to. Started out as a guard, eventually played some tackle, and then towards the back end of the season when we had some injuries, he was playing center. He just always was willing to do whatever we needed to do to help this team win. Earning his certificate, John Rice. Mansell, right? I'm sorry, Mansell. Brennan Mansell. Brennan was another guy who played multiple positions throughout the year and was always willing to play wherever we needed him to. helped out on the scout team as well, and as you heard the defensive coaches say, that's a big help throughout the year. And Brennan's really good with his technique, and I'm excited to see where that takes him. Earning a certificate, Brennan Mansell. Ethan Bosselman. Ethan is earning his first varsity letter. Did a great job for us this year, whether it was preparing for possibly playing a full varsity game, whether it was preparing for the JV game, or for helping out on the scout team. But he did a great job in every role he had this year, and I'm excited about his future. First varsity letter, Ethan Bosselman.
All right, we'll get rolling here with a couple of the upperclassmen. Sam Smith. Sam is a junior that is earning his football certificate this season after playing on the JV football team. Sam made the transition from the defensive line to the O-line and worked extremely hard at playing a foreign position to him and improved throughout the season. Sam, we look forward to a huge off-season for you and for you to be able to continue to grow and develop as an offensive lineman. Sam Smith. Tony Zagaznik. I won't do it, Tony. All right, Tony is a junior. He was a center that is earning his football certificate after playing on the JV football team for us. Tony transferred over to Mentor from Lake Catholic last winter, and he made a smooth transition within our offensive line unit. Tony, this is a huge offseason for you to be able to continue to learn our system, get yourself healthy, stronger, and more flexible in order to reach your maximum potential. Tony Zagaznik. Jacob Zuzik. Scoots. Scoots is a junior that is earning his football certificate after playing on the JV football team this fall. Jacob was able to play both guard and tackle, and he helped mentor several of our younger players. Jacob made significant strides throughout this season, and I look forward to being able to see how you're going to continue to grow and develop this offseason. You need to attack the weight room this offseason. Jacob Zuzik. Tommy Shea. Tommy is earning his second varsity letter after starting 14 games at right tackle. Tommy was the player of the week against Elyria and was also voted first team All-GCC. Tommy is a very smart football player that works incredibly hard at his craft each and every single day. Tommy, this offseason, a great opportunity for you to continue to grow and develop within the weight room, to be able to better yourself as an offensive lineman, as well as being able to grow and develop as a team leader heading into the 2020 season. Tommy Shea. Stan Zalewski. One of two guys that rocked a molt the entire season. That's impressive. Stan is earning his second varsity letter this season after starting 8 games at center. Stan battled an ankle injury throughout most of the season, but was able to fight through to produce a solid junior campaign. Stan was a strong physical presence on the interior of the offensive line, as well as being a dynamic puller from the center position, which is a huge benefit to our offense. I look forward to seeing you have a huge offseason to become a consistent leader within this football program. Stan Zalewski. Hunter Kaleo. Hunter is earning his second varsity letter this season after starting 14 games at left tackle. Hunter moved out to left tackle this season after starting last season at left guard. Hunter was named the player of the week against Medina and Cleveland Heights and was also voted second team All-Ohio. Hunter, you need to continue to attack the weight room, to continue to physically develop, and also continue to learn the fine details of offensive line play so that you can become a team leader heading into your senior football season. Hunter Kaleo. Now on to the seniors. First off, thank you guys for your hard work, your dedication, and commitment that you've had for this school and this football program over the past 4 years. You've left a lasting impact and have continued to raise the bar of what offensive line play is here at Mentor High School. I'm appreciative of everything that you guys have done. You are all tremendous young men, and it was an honor to be able to coach you guys for the past 4 years. John Rowe. John is earning his first varsity letter this season. John demonstrated a tremendous work ethic and versatility throughout his career here at Mentor. John stepped up and was a tremendous team-first player that would fill in whatever role was needed, whether it was left guard one play, the next play right guard, or going down and working with the offensive scout team without ever complaining. John is a great example of what a team-first football player is, as he just showed up, worked extremely hard without saying a word or a complaint, which was very commendable. I wish you the best of luck with your future, John, and thank you for all of your hard work and dedication to this football program. John Rowe. Blake Harmon. Blake is also earning his first varsity letter this season. Blake was selected as the 12th man award winner week 9 against Euclid. Blake is another example of a great team-first player that would do anything in his power to be able to benefit the team. Blake would do whatever was asked of him with a smile on his face and would do it at the absolute best of his ability. Blake had a tremendous role within our offensive line unit, as he was a huge part of several of our starters' development throughout this season, as he gave such a great look for us in our individual drills. Ask Tommy Shea about that. He's a great example of being able to put the greater good of the team above oneself, which is why we are successful here as a program, because of young men like Blake Harmon. I wish you the best in your future and look forward to seeing what great things you will accomplish. Blake Harmon. Brian Khalil. Brian is earning his first varsity letter this season after starting in 6 games and earning significant time in 5 other games throughout the season. Brian played great football throughout the season and stepped up whenever his number was called. Brian is a tremendous example for the younger players in our program, as he was also often overlooked and didn't always receive a ton of playing time as a younger player. But he just kept his nose down, worked extremely hard in the weight room, at his technique and his craft, and seized the opportunity when it presented himself. I'm extremely proud to have been able to see your growth and development throughout the past 3 years as both a young man and a football player. Brian has a tremendous future as a welder, as he placed very high in several national competitions, and probably the most surprising aspect of this season, we learned that Brian has a tremendous singing voice and great dance moves. Brian Khalil. Sorry, Brian, I had to. Chris Hatcher. Chris is earning his second varsity letter this season after starting 14 games at right guard. Chris was the player of the week against Strongsville and was named first team All-GCC and third team All-Ohio for his play this season. Chris was an incredibly consistent and reliable player for us this fall, as he did not miss one snap in a game or practice throughout the entire season. Chris is another young man that seized his opportunity last season, and he took ownership of that situation and turned himself into a great football player by showing up each and every single day and working extremely hard. Chris, if you approach your future with the same type of work ethic, determination, and drive that you had within your high school football career, you'll become extremely successful in your future. Chris Hatcher. Byron Floyd. Byron is earning his third varsity letter this season as our snapper on the field goal and punt units, as well as starting 14 games on the offensive line. Byron was the special teams player of the week against Strongsville and was named first team All-GCC for his play on the offensive line. Byron was an invaluable member of our offensive line unit this season, as he started games at both left guard and center, as well as being the third offensive tackle, which is no easy task to be able to complete. He had to be mentally and physically on point each and every single day, as it seemed like a new challenge was thrown his way, and he was able to meet that on a day-by-day basis. I'm extremely proud of the growth and development that you've accomplished over the past 3 years, and can't wait to be able to see what your future has in store for you. Byron Floyd. You guys good?
Okay, come on up, quarterbacks, and Coach Janiak.
As they're coming up, I'd like to thank the ball boys. I don't know if any of them are here today, but Jackson, Matt, and Adam. They did a great job, especially with the weather conditions and the distances they had to travel for all our games. I appreciate their commitment to the Mentor football program. Woo. Style in the red, okay. First guy I want to talk about is Brendan Baroni. He's a sophomore. He's also very good in the classroom and earned his first certificate. Brendan continued to improve his skill level throughout the season, but unfortunately he got injured halfway through. But when he did come back, he came back more determined. And that determination paid off for Brendan when he got his opportunity in the Medina JV game. Our starter got hurt early, and he led the team to a victory with 2 scoring drives. That's Brendan Baroni. Jake Snow. Jake was our starting quarterback at the JV level. The season started out slow since he was learning a brand new offensive system. But as Jake's knowledge grew, so did his confidence. He was able to lead a very talented group of JVs to a very good record. Jake got an opportunity to play some snaps at the varsity level, and he did make the most of his first carry of the 16-yard touchdown. His goal for next year is to continue to mature and to learn to be a complete quarterback on and off the field. Jake Snow. Ian Kipp next. Again, Ian's very good in the classroom. This is his second year as a starting quarterback for the Cardinals. He is truly a dual-threat quarterback. He did it with both his arms and his legs. He threw for over 2,500 yards, ran for nearly 1,000, accounted for 42 touchdowns, and even caught a 19-yard pass. For his efforts, he earned a number of honors, including First Team All-Conference, First Team All-Lake County, First Team All-State. He was also the co-Offensive Player of the Year in Division I in the state of Ohio. Ian really grew up as a quarterback and as a person during the season. The best for him, though, is yet to come. Ian Kipp. Charlie Holly, sporting the red. Everybody on the team has a role to play for the success of the team. Charles was the backup quarterback, and for a number of games, he was also the scout team quarterback. The respect he earned by his teammates and his coaches was evident as Charlie was named the honorary captain for the Cleveland Heights playoff game. Charlie was invaluable on game day. He was the first line of communication between Ian and myself, often discussing the adjustments we needed to make from series to series. Charlie got some considerable action during the year, and in fact, he was our number 4 rusher on the team, and he scored 5 touchdowns. The most memorable moments of the season for him personally was scoring that first touchdown against Elyria, but most importantly, being named the honorary captain. His team memory, of course, the comeback victory against St. Ed's for the regional championship, but the last game as a senior at the JTO was special to him. He will definitely be missed. Charlie Holly. Okay, guys, you're done. I got one more player, really is an ex-player. He's going to be mad at me, but, you know, that's the way it goes. You can stand up over here. Me? Yeah. Okay. I promise it won't be very long. Many of you know that I've known Steve for a long time, 44 years. Lately, I've been asked if anybody knew that that little 7th grader that I met at Ridge Junior High School would become the winningest football coach in Mentor history. My response was, nope, not many. But as time passed, 3 things about Steve became clear. His love of the game of football, his pride that he has in the Mentor community, and the desire to always do things the right way. Many of years have gone by, and he's still displaying those same 3 things and impacting countless players, coaches, teachers, and administrators to do the same. Congratulations on a great career here at Mentor. Enjoy whatever the future holds. If you approach your future with the same passion and will that you displayed in your 23 years as our head coach, the next 23 years will be just as memorable. I'm very thankful to know Steve as a student, as a player, as a colleague, but most importantly, my friend. Mentor pride till the day you die, Steve.
Thank you, thank you. But we got a young man that do a little babysitting of a sick brother. Did Brian get here? No? Well, Coach Pollock has a couple things to say about you.
Where's your boot? Where's your boot? All right, so Brian Trobell earning his 3rd letter this year. Brian had a tremendous season as a senior, earning many awards. He was named to the News Herald First Team, Lake County Touchdown Club Player of the Year, First Team Northeast District, and for a 2nd year in a row, First Team All-Ohio. Brian's a tough, hard-nosed, strong, explosive kid that doesn't say a whole lot. At least that's what we thought. And then we find out in one of our film sessions that he was voted by most of the offensive team as the person who did the most amount of talking on the field. Coach Gray and I were in shock when we got this information, and we looked at him and asked him, and the response we got was, nah. Okay, so anyway, whether or not Brian did talk a lot on the field or not, his play spoke the most. As being the running backs coach here since 1999, I don't know if I've had someone that was as much of the full package as Brian. Brian is an extremely talented young athlete. I'm very proud of what he has become, the work that he has put forward to do it. I'm going to miss quite a bit about him. He hardly played in most of the second half of our regular games. I'm really happy that he introduced me to my new favorite flavor of chicken wings with the dusted chipotle barbecue. Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate that. There are tons of things that I'm going to miss about Brian, but the one thing I'm going to miss the most, and it's something that I've only saw in one other running back who is not with us anymore. Billy Deitman, one of the best ever through here. Okay? And before a game, I could tell by looking at Billy's face when he was ready. And every time before you and Riley and I would talk right before we would break to go in, I saw your face. And I knew no matter what, You had that calm, cool confidence that you were going to go out there and dominate it. The only other kid I saw it on was Billy Deitman. Billy Deitman was a special man. You would make Billy very proud. Thank you.
If not, I'll get it to you at the end. Okay, we're going to start with some team awards that the coaches give out throughout the year and we meet with and go over. We're going to go through the we're going to go through the captains. If I could get Marco, Kyle, and Luke, you over there, come on forward. It's not easy to be a captain in this football program. A lot falls on their plates, a lot more than you see where you think it's just they go out and flip a coin toss, which we didn't win very often other than the one that counted. To these guys, thank you for being great captains. They truly are an outstanding group of captains who worked hard at their role as captains and led this football team in a great way. I couldn't be more proud of these three, our three captains, Luke Floria, Kyle Bischoff, Marco Toth. Let's hear it for them. All right, we're going to call off the offensive players of the week. So when I call the names, just come on up. If I call you twice, grab both awards. Offensive players of the week this year: Brian Trobel, Luke Floria, Justin Luke, Tommy Shea, Hunter Kaleo, Riley Coughlin, Hutch Baird. You can tell they're bored. RJ Fulmer, Ian Kipp, Chris Hatcher, Hunter Kaleo, Brian Trobel, and Luke Floria. I was wrong, Mrs. Bischoff. I promised you 9 o'clock, and I haven't pulled it off. I'm sorry. Defense. Come on up. Defensive players of the week: Devin Harper, Evan Boyd, Kyle Bischoff, Jackson Paglio, Nazir Forqueen, Michael Norris, Greg Perdina, Marco Toth, Jackson Paglio, Justin Satterfield, Devin Harper, Preston Cardina, and Brennan Vernon. Defensive players of the week. Up next, we'll go with our special teams players of the week. Come on up: Andrew Smith, Marco Toth, Kyle Bischoff, Colin DePasquale, Eric Cood, Byron Floyd, Javon Ruffin, Andrew Smith, and Marco Toth. Did they show up, or? That was quick. All right, let's go to the 12th men, and I will tell you this: these are my favorite awards. These are guys who don't get to play a lot, and they give everything they have to this football team, and I couldn't be more proud of this group of guys. Greg Morris, Dominic Miller, Tyler Wilkinson, Charlie Hawley, Sam Kish, Caleb Mitchell, Evan Harper, Joe Euler, Blake Harmon, Dean Dudas, Sean Allgood, Aiden George, and Aiden Fellows. Let's hear it for that group. Up next, we'll go with our position players that each coach got to pick a guy that they felt was the most outstanding at each position. Starting with the defensive line. Let them go real quick, hang on. Starting with the defensive line, the award winner goes to Greg Perdina. Come on forward, Greg Perdina, outstanding defensive lineman. For the outstanding offensive lineman, Hunter Kaleo. For the outstanding wide receiver, Luke Floria. For the outstanding linebacker, Kyle Bischoff. The outstanding defensive back, Nazir Forqueen. And the outstanding back, Ian Kipp. We're going to shift to our MVPs, and I'll be honest with you, we battled and fought, and we could give about 12 of these awards. We had a great group of kids. We had an outstanding senior class. So we will go with this way. We gave 2 most improved players, one on offense and one on defense. On offense, our most improved player is RJ Fulmer. Come on up, RJ. And on defense, our most improved player is Justin Satterfield. Special teams, we gave to 2. It's not very often you get that kicker and that long snapper, and we had 2 great ones. Our special teams players are Andrew Smith and Byron Floyd. Our offensive player, we could give 3 because I think we have 3 big-time football players. In the end, the vote went out, and we gave it to senior Brian Trobel. Defensively, we had 3 or 4 guys we could, and when we voted and ended in a tie, or at least close to it. And I think they're truly 2 great young men who played their tails off for us. They're just hard-nosed, physical football players. Our defensive MVPs go to Marco Toth and Jackson Paglio. Last but not least, 2 of my favorite awards. They're 12th Man of the Year, and we truly had 2 great ones. So we gave an offensive one. It's the worst job in football, and that's being the scout team running back who has to get hit every day and gets no reward for it. And a linebacker who set us up and did a lot of great things for us. I couldn't be more proud of these 2. Our 12th Men of the Year, Dominic Miller and Greg Morris. I got 4 more awards that we give out as coaches. Their names will be on plaques in the school. The first one is the William Stidger Award, which goes to the outstanding junior who kind of is that all-around kid who does a little bit of everything, academically, athletically, personally, community service-wise. Ours was a great football player for us, did a great job this year. Our William Stidger Award winner, which his name will be on a plaque in the school, is Hutch Baird. Our Colasar Award, which has been an award around for a while, goes just to that great student, that great kid, that person that you just love to have on your team. I couldn't be more proud of this guy. I told him today, we met today, and he doesn't say a word. He really didn't in our meeting, and I couldn't be more proud of the man he's become and what he's done as a football player. Our Colasar Award winner is Javon Ruffin. Our senior award to that kid who's just been a battler, who is a great student, who's worked hard to get to where he is, and is the epitome of what a student athlete is about, is a kid who just had a really good year for us and has always worked as hard as he possibly could every year to make himself into a great football player, a great student, a great athlete. Our Robert I. Miller Award winner goes to Sonny Odo. And Coach talked about the Billy Deitman Award, which was probably one of the best leaders, student athletes I've ever had. And this guy's very deserving, academically, athletically, and all he's done. He truly is an outstanding man who's going to end up, hopefully, I think, might be going to the same university Billy did. His dad played with Billy's dad, and I think this award will mean the most to Marco Toth. And just to say a quick thing with that, Marco, along with that award, Billy's teammates get together every year and raise a little bit of money, and there will be a check for $500 from them that you put towards books at your school. So that's from all his teammates. I guess all these years, I'm done. I never thought I would be nervous to say goodbye, but I think this is kind of my farewell to you. I am truly the luckiest man in the world. I didn't work a day in my life. I learned one thing as a young kid. You need to get up every morning. Life's going to have good days. Life's going to have bad days. It just comes down to how hard you work. And if you do that and you realize that, you can be successful. I truly thank each and every one of you for everything. It has been my honor and privilege to be the head football coach at Mentor High School. I bid you farewell.
Two quick things. Two quick things we want to be able to kind of have Coach Triv leave with. Number one, this is a gift from the senior class. Tish Euler, a couple weeks ago, came up with a great idea. And I think it's going to be something that Coach will be able to take with him here. She was able to put together a blanket, a quilt with all different jerseys of Mentor football. That's something that is from the senior class that Triv's is the final and 23rd season. So this will be a gift from the senior class, as well as the Mentor schools put together a little tribute video that we're going to be able to see here as we finish out the night.
Thank you. The blanket will keep me warm, and because I don't like the cold. And hopefully, if I get passionate, my golf game will get below 80, and I'll be pretty good. I love you people. I couldn't be more thankful for where I'm at. Thank you from the bottom of my heart. Love you all.